Benedetta is something that has been really popular in the current patch as well, especially in ranked games in particular, where it just gives you so much mobility. And we talked about how Paquito was a pretty decent matchup against Benedetta, but because of last season, well, Paquito is pretty much out of the equation right now, which is kind of unfortunate. And so far, there hasn't been a lot of matchup that can actually match the clearing speed of a Benedetta or in terms of mobility. And I feel like the Fredrin was great, but considering it was banned off in second phase in game 1, it feels like Fredrin may not necessarily be as broken as what we thought it might be. But based on drafts right now, Diggy, Kaja being taken out from Falcon, respecting Orange Esports composition again.
Right now, Falcon, they kind of put themselves in a situation where they're forced to do something, and what they're forced to do is actually ban out the Akai because Orange is first pick. The Diggy is not there anymore. If they don't ban out the Akai, I think it's not a bad situation for Subway to get it. Now, they're focusing on Amalance, not letting him get the 1-1. Okay. I think this is a pretty solid Akai pick if Subway is up for it.
Yeah, I think Akai isn't too bad considering that the Diggy is really also going to be banned off as well. On top of it all, first picking the Fanny from Orange Esports may not look too bad considering that he does play it, but it kind of allows Falcon Esports to completely deal with it. Maybe picking a Ruby, maybe picking something else, but Orange Esports, they say, I don't care about any of that. We're going to prioritize Leslie instead. Arguably, one of the meta marksmen in current patch, and it makes a lot of sense why they would go for it, but first picking it and allowing Falcon Esports to make a decision right now. And that decision is Valentina as well as the Fredrin.
Yeah, honestly, two-part picks because I would say the strong thing about Fredrin right now is just his ability to have a AoE crowd control where he's just like every few seconds he just keeps taunting you, so that can be very, very annoying. But is it the right answer to go up against a Leslie? Because I prefer someone that can go directly into the back lines, like a Yuzong, like a Benedetta. But right now, Orange Esport, I kind of have to say they have a very, very solid pickup right now because huge late game damage scaling hero on the Leslie, a lot of crowd control from the Akai, and if they have a backlane threat as well, the Benedetta is going to be there and making sure that that person is not going to be dealing enough damage to the heroes that they wanted to actually dish it out on.
Well, seems to me Orange Esports, they have a pretty solid one as well. They will keep solo aims hero pool and full grabs as well. But my question here is, will Falcon Esports try and take a Lolita to deal with the Leslie instead? Because that's how Orange Esports kind of dealt with it in their respective playstyles. But Falcon Esports, they're picking the Paquito. They're going to try and mirror the Paquito against the Benedetta and put the Fredrin in jungle potentially, or vice versa. So it's a little bit of a flex pick. But Orange Esports, all they gotta do right now is just straight up ban off all of Silence Hero.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that is the way to go because I think banning out Naomi is gonna be very, very difficult. So yeah, it looks like Falcon, they're just gonna focus on solo aim. Orange, I kind of feel like the most obvious thing is just to focus on Silent. Okay. I'm thinking the Beatrix as well as the Claude. Not sure how Silent is on the Claude though. I can't remember him using the Claude.
Yeah, his Beatrix is pretty much formidable one, but Irrita is also something that is in his vocabulary. Oh, yeah. So I think those two is gonna be a priority for Orange Esports. We haven't seen too many insane Claude players. So like I know Amelance, Valence as well as we know him, he does play a pretty much Claude, but Claude is kind of in a situation where a lot of teams kind of strayed away from it, except for maybe, I don't know, Onyx Esports, which is obviously they're not here. But it seems like Orange Esports, they will respect it. They banned Irizel, Falcon Esports, what is going to be a response? And I think they should at least get rid of the Beatrix. But if they do that, it's clear indicators that they want to play the Beatrix again for Falcon Esports. So it's a tough spot right now for them.
Orange betting out the Irrital does kind of show that they're focusing a lot of defense on their own side. So whatever their mid is going to be, I don't know. For all we know, this could be an Akai mid, this could be a Beretta mid. Stormy has done it all. I wouldn't be too surprised. But betting out the Irrital does indicate that they're going to be slightly more tankier, so they don't want that armor shredding option on the Falcon. Betting out, I don't know. Is it really good idea to ban out the Feramis?
That's the thing, right? Feramis, even though it's kind of nerfed to a certain degree, but there has been a little bit of rework of the Cult Altar itself, where the moment if you die from the first 10 HP, you are kind of immune for like 1 to 2 HP. Yes, you're pretty much stuck there, but you don't take a lot of damage. You don't take any damage within like 1 second period, which is kind of weird compared to the previous update itself. But Orange Esports, they're letting the Beatrix like they're banning off the Atlas instead. Huh, interesting, because it feels like Orange Esports, they don't really respect the Beatrix at all. They have the Lolita up at hand, and they're forcing Falcon Esports to potentially pick it up themselves, which is weird.
I think this call is they're not picking up the Beatrix as well. They're picking up the Clint, so a lot of burst damage here from Falcon. So the crowd control, 3 of the earlier picks have a good amount of crowd control, especially the Fedrin as well as the Valentina. So this is going to be a front to back kind of composition for Falcon, where they're just going to try to brute force their way through into a fight. So Orange Esport, they have more flexibility just because of the Benedetta. So right now, the way that they're finishing off the draft, either they're gonna match with Falcon with the front to back team fight composition, or just add more options in terms of maybe pushing another lane, or just having different heroes to flank from the sides.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see a double mage. All right. Okay.
Well, we talked about it. It's almost like we know the teams.
Well, technically they're from our region, but at the same time, Falcon Esports, they bring in a Natalia. At the same time, this is something that I did talk about the previous week, not brought out a single time, but this time, we are gonna see the Naomi special, the hero that made him famous in MSC.
Yeah,
the Natalia.
Yeah, this is kind of disgusting from Falcon, like. And Falcon really likes the Natalia to the point where there was a time I was ranking up with Ken as well, and he forced me on the Natalia pick as well. Spoiler alert, I did not do well, but this does show that they have a small bias towards this Natalia pick. So now they're kind of like saying, screw the rules, I'm just gonna play what I like to play, and then see what happens. You know what? Meta shmeta. We're just gonna use Natalia and brute force our way in.
All right, without further ado, we're gonna be jumping straight into game number 2, and that is gonna be, as of yet, Orange Esports on the blue side and Falcon Esports on the red side. This is gonna be game number 2. Will Falcon Esports bounce back, or will Orange Esports gets the clean 2-0 as they try and fight for their upper bracket spots? And as of yet, Orange Esports in a very, very comfortable position, but not so comfortable enough as they do bring in the double mage composition, which is weird. I was selling solo aim to be like a better roamer now, and he's back to his roots again. Back to basics, Raphael. Back to basics.
Yeah, this is not the best time to go with their back to basic going up against a Natalia, where there's a lot of squishy options for the Natalia. So again, this is one of those games where Falcon, they have 2 options in how they're gonna take this fight. With Orange Esport, they're a little bit more. They can split the fight, sure, but they don't have as much options as Falcon. So I would say in this match, it's all about the mechanics for both teams.
Well, seems like we're going to be calling in for a pause as well, as the players are going to be having a little bit of issues coming from Falcon Esports. But what I do know is that it seems like based on how Justin is actually progressing as well, is that they are actually going for a Purify up on Valentina, which is weird, considering that, I don't know, I wouldn't expect him to go for it here, but it makes sense because they have an Archive, right? So whenever the heavy spin comes in, if you don't get out of position, this Valentina is pretty much done and dusted. So limiting this potential sprint, the potential flickers on this Valentina, it's gonna put him in an awkward situation, don't you think so?
Personally, I kind of prefer the flicker because you can flicker away. Even though Akaya spin you down, you have like 0.5 seconds, 0.3 seconds to flicker away. But for professional players, that is more than enough. But I guess the thing that is better about Purify over a flicker is that the cooldown is much lower, 90 seconds compared to 120 seconds. So you can use Purify more often. So that is kind of okay, especially considering that the Valentina already has a lot of mobility on her kit. So I think it's okay. Again, personally, I would prefer the flicker, but because probably both teams are anticipating a lot of fights in between turtles, in between lords. So it's probably a little bit better having the purify so that you can get into the fight a little bit earlier compared to your opponents.
Yeah, it feels like the battle spells coming, especially when you talk about battle spells, right? Petrify has one of the lowest CDs right now in current meta, which is interesting because Flicker is like ridiculously long, whereas Petrify, like, you can spam it in almost every single fight, regardless of what happened in the situation. And I feel like having the double Petrify on Orange Esports is gonna eventually whittle down in conversation for Falcon Esport. So I feel like that's gonna be the problem, the biggest issue that they will face later on. It's a very minor detail, but let's see how it goes because we are back into the game, and as you can see, not much is happening. Both sides is gonna be respectively going for the usual rotation. Falcon Esports losing out a little bit in the economy. Not exactly sure how they lost the 300 advantage though.
Yeah, but either way, right now, Naomi and Solo Aim, they're probably going to be the two players that we got to keep our eyes on because they're both going to be playing more or less the same style where they want to control a bush so that they can have a kill potential on the enemy, both Naomi as well as Solo Aim. So both damage dealers, both mid laners as well as gold laners, they got to be aware of their positioning because if all of a sudden Naomi just comes and surprises either MLS, like I just talked about it, Naomi just got a kill.
And as soon as that happens, now the turtle contest is coming in. Neo is going to be forced to go in for the Petrify. He gets the Petrify onto his Ken, but they really need to force a fight. But Heavy Speed connects the dot, but Ken won't be able to steal it despite it all. They're going for a little bit of Beyblade action. Double Beyblades coming in, and Subway himself will get pinned out from Dustin. And this is the Falcon Esports we're looking for. And now 2-0 in their favor, and with the total advantage as well.
Yeah, big miscommunication there because what Subway was trying to do, he was trying to pin Ken towards the wall. But again, the way that the Akai ult happens now is that he spins. So in 0.3 seconds, you can use your spells, you can use your skills. So there is potential outplay. The way that you play in Akai is you kind of want to push the other person away, and either your team, in that situation it was Neo, focus on the same target, kill the guy very quickly, having a more bigger percent on you securing the turtle. But it looks like a little bit of miscommunication where Neo and Subway were not in the same page, and Naomi gets that, and then he basically gets away for free.
Oh no, that is a big steal coming from Falcon Esports. Now Orange Esports, they will lose a huge amount of lead compared to game number 1. And this is the first time I see Orange Esports actually losing their early engagement, and they need to find a way. But as of yet, try to secure the farm for balance. Justin is going to be available. He does have the heavy spin stolen as well. So that's going to be a big ultimate for Falcon Esports to take advantage. While Naomi will be checking the bush. He's going to scout Solo A, but it seems like he's not going to be able to catch Naomi at all.
Yeah, and Naomi also have a level advantage onto Solo Aim. They gotta be careful. Naomi has the execute, so when you're really low, you gotta expect that you're gonna die. So Ambulance has to make sure that he keeps his ultimate snipe just so he knows where Naomi is, because he has a big target on his back right now.
Yep, Stormy now taking a little bit too much damage. He does have the Roman Vision coming in, but here comes the ult as well coming from Solo Aim, barely tickling down towards Falcon Esports. It seems like this is going to be a big struggle coming from Orange Esports. Well, Falcon Esports, they have perfect control. They've got the network advantage, and eventually, the big threat right now is that they need items to just deal with Solo Aim's burst, as well as Stormy, and all things going to be good. And Naomi now, almost getting the snipe down onto the Solo Aim. We'll be able to dodge it. Army Land's going to be popping the ultimate blocks coming from Justin to keep him alive, but the turtle still getting kind of around. Ken looking for the opportunity, going for the spin as well, but the retribution, once again, he steals it despite having the heavy spin from Subway to disrupt him. Falcon Esports seems like they've woken up from game 1, and now Orange Esports is going to be pushed back.
They've definitely woken up. Winning 2 retribution fights, like, that's going to be a big boost for their own confidence. And right now, Orange Esports, they're having a trouble where Emelance is getting pressured quite a lot, so his farm is getting heavily controlled by Falcon Esport. And right now, Orange, what they really need is a second or first item of Glowing One to actually deal with Falcon.
Yep. And as of yet, real world manipulation, you're gonna be completely, I would say, nerfed sized to a certain degree. And I'm not a big fan of how the real manipulation looks like right now. It's just so much smaller compared to back in the days. But as of yet, this is going to be the items coming in. We do see a pretty early Dreadnought armor coming from Subway. But Naomi, still extremely annoying. Famous for his Natalia. Now, doing a lot of work in terms of overall map presence against Orange Esports.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but this is one of those things that EVE players, they know, they understand, which is size does matter. So what Stormy needs right now, it looks like he is going for the Ice Queen one, but he needs a glowing one as well because Falcon Esport, they have a lot of HP on their own draft. But also if he can manage to get some stack onto Naomi, it's gonna take some time for him to go invisible. So that is a very good item in this situation, but whether he can actually pull it off is gonna be very, very difficult.
Yep, and so now Great Petrify comes in, instantly one-shots Yellow Flash. Did not expect it at all, but Ame Lens is going to get dived in from Naomi. Naomi will be able to trade off, so it's going to be a well-worthy trade, while Naomi will be able to escape this now, Justin. He does have the heavy spin available. He's going to try and force a fight against Solo Aim, and there's no way he's going to be able to survive this unless he says something, but the outplays comes in, and he's going to be able to escape this.
As it occurs. No way he's running away from that.
All right.
No way.
Yeah, but he just did it. He just pulled it. Wow.
Yeah, if only you said that for Amelens, but again, there's no way of outplaying the Natalia in that situation.
Fair enough. But at the same time, third turtle going to be in Falcon Esports' favor. Subway is here, but he's taking a little bit too much damage. Yellow Flash zoning him out, though. That's going to work out in his favor. Meanwhile, Ken purchasing the Sky Gun and helmet, so this Frederick is going to be able to do a little bit more in tanking, but as of yet, Orange Esports, they're going to try and defend the middle lane. Neo's in position to go in for the big Petrify catch, but who's he going to focus? Because he's going to get caught out. Silence there to zone him out. Naomi also looking to intercept, but unfortunately, doesn't seem to be able to find an angle yet.
Feels good for Falcon, the fact that they have the Valentina, so even if they don't pick up the Akai, they still have the Akai. True. Just feels good. And right now Neo goes in, but looks like they're just wanting to clear the minions, and this is the only thing that they can do right now because they need more items on the Amelens and they need items on Stormy because it's kind of like the same thing that happened to Falcon where when their mid is getting pressured, they just don't have enough damage.
Yep, Falcon now gonna try and make an attempt onto Neo. Neo have no choice but to concede the top side. Mount bottom lane. Subway, he's gonna try and hit his spin to Naomi, but where are you? I mean, Lens is so far away. He's not even there to actually help him fight. While that's happening, Justin, they are going to try and force a fight down middle, and Solo Aim is going to be able to escape this as Falcon Esports forcing a couple fights here and there. But all in all, that seems like Orange Esports in a very awkward situation. While Valence is getting completely shut down by Naomi. No saves whatsoever. And the taunt comes in. Solo Aim is here to show his presence, but they know for a fact that they are so low. And they have to back out. And this... I don't think they want to force a fight, and Naomi, I think he's gonna get a cancel. He's actually gonna get a cancel, and he's gonna get a kill on top of it all. And Orange Esports not expecting Naomi at all, and now Subway down towards Qlito, Stormy as well. This might be a kill. The flicker comes in, Yellow Flash gets another one. Orange Esports, they're getting picked apart bit by bit, little by little, and inch by an inch.
Yeah, how do you make this game unfair? Just give Naomi the Natalia, like... The Natalia last pick, I kind of feel like even Orange's coach, he's having his face in his hands like, oh my god, he has the Natalia. And we can definitely see it being a big factor here in this game. But I gotta say, all of the interaction down in the bottom lane just now between Orange and Falcon, I would say it's heavily unnecessary from Orange. They made quite a lot of mistakes there.
I guess that's going to be the case, but as of yet, the first Lord is going to be contested as well. Neo going to be at the back lines. He's going to get zoned out by Silent. While that's happening, Stormy getting caught out by both Justin as well as Yellow Flash. Downside of Eve doesn't have the mobility, and they are going to be in an awkward position. Ken now gets a double baton, and Naomi will snipe down Solo Aim, and Subway will try and pin down Natalia, but the rest of the teams from Orange Esports is so far back behind that Ame Lens needs to flicker out of there, and he's going to back out and leaving Subway all by himself to be picked off by Falcon Esports.
Hey, that's good. That's what you got to do, man. Neo did a good job of protecting Amelens, but again, this is a situation where Orange Esports, they got to get back into the game because it looks like they're getting very, very distracted, especially with the presence of Naomi. Everyone is so preoccupied with their own positioning that, like I said, like the first series of the game, Orange created options for Falcon, and that made their decision making more difficult. And Falcon is doing the same thing. They're giving options like, who are you gonna focus on? You're gonna focus on not getting picked off by Naomi, or you're gonna be focusing on the other 4 players that you can see in front of you. So it creates a lot of miscommunications in their own head. not even the things that they're saying.
Agreed. Meanwhile, Valence, he will be able to scout on Naomi. Here comes the rough waves coming from solo aim, but Justin forcing an early heavy spin. So that's going to be a big win for Orange Esports for now, unless Naomi has something to say about it, because from behind, he's looking for the snipe on solo aim. He gets the snipe. He's going to force him back. But Orange Esports, they will be able to go in for the reset. As of yet, the Lord is going to be pushing on the top side. Meanwhile, Neo is off the other side of the map, cutting the creep waves on the bottom lane to try and force Falcon Esports to back out. But it seems like they will only get the Paquito, and the rest of Falcon is still going to keep up with the pressure down middle as they slowly mow down the second tower. Justin, looking for the fight. He's taking a little bit too much damage. Valence going to be from the side as well. He's looking for the takedown. But seems like Falcon, they need to back out, as they are pretty split off as of now. As Orange Esports, they managed to somehow defend the middle lane, but the top lane completely destroyed by the Lord. Was this the right play from Orange Esports? I don't think so.
I have no idea as well, man, but at least good map presence from Ambulance. He was using the ultimate snipe, trying to get a kill, but because Yellow Flash came from the side, he had to cancel it, but it's a good thing that he did, because if not, I'm pretty sure he would have been done and dusted there. He would have died very, very quickly. So Falcon Esport right now with a significant goal advantage, they're looking into a situation where they could force fights because they're very tanky, and Naomi can basically kill, you know, in solo situation. He really doesn't care who he catches. Solo aim is gonna get targeted just a little bit, so not enough cooldowns, but this is what Falcon can do. They can force fights. They have the option.
Yep, this is going to be a tough one indeed, but as of yet, Neo is going to get caught out with the heavy spin. He's going to try and go for the eye for the eye. It's going to be A-OK. Yellow Flash, however, taking a little bit of trades from Lens. It seems like Orange Esports, they're going to be able to hold on, but Falcon Esports seems like the roles have been reversed from game number 1, and this time they will be the one having the 8K network lead as they try to pick a couple more fights and starve them out of the jungle. Ken looking to contest for the orange buff. Subway is here, but Falcon Esports, it seems like they are trying to set up for an ambush, while Naomi also looking for the flank. Neo will be able to scout this out. Orange Esports playing a little bit slow. Orange buff secured by Subway, but they forced the retribution. That's about it. But while this is happening, look at behind, because solo aim looking for the big catch. He's gonna try and go for it, but he makes the blunder, and he's gonna be forced to back out. And Falcon Esports is gonna go for the reset for both sides right now.
Yeah, they kind of have to retreat there because the minion is pushing in, but Naomi finds solo aim godlike on the roamer Natalia.
Oh, okay. That was where is his damage? Like, okay, I know for a fact he's got a damage. He's 7-0-1 on this Roman Natalia, and that's gonna be a free Lord in the hands of Falcon Esports. This might be game from Falcon Esports, considering how one Natalia just completely threw off Orange Esports' entire game plan in this game right now. But yeah, as soon as I
Neo
say
is
this,
gonna get targeted, and right now Neo is dealing enough
wait,
damage,
wait,
but he's
no,
gonna know. Oh, Naomi won that 1v1.
Need I remind you, this is a roamer Natalia who just completely dumpster an XP laner. That's, you hate to see it, but as of now, Subway taking a little bit too much damage. Ken does have the taunt available. This is going to force a 3v2. They force a heavy spin as well. Rough Phase comes in. Solo aim. Going to be going for the rotations, but Justin will get picked up from Army Lens out of nowhere. Army Lens from the back lines is going to be able to secure this. Ken needs to go in for the taunt. He gets the taunt, but the rest of Falcon not going to be able to go in for the follow-up. So that's going to be another defense coming in, but Falcon Esports, they're not letting it off yet as they take the inhibitor down middle. As Orange Esports now gonna be throwing their bodies. Crystal down to his half HP. Yellow Flash thinking we're going for the dive, but I don't think they can. Silence slowly poking on bottom inhibitor instead. But all in all, Orange Esports, they still somehow hold on, and they will be able to defend this for now.
As long as Amalance is alive, they have a chance, but that is very, very difficult with Naomi in the game. So they just have to force out a mistake out of Naomi. If they and solo aim dies, it's gonna be more difficult now to actually protect. And Naomi's aiming for Amalance.
Oh, okay. Amalance is gonna be able to get an escape, but there's no minions coming from Falcon Esports. Out comes in from Amalance to scare off Naomi, but the bottom tower is gonna fall as Falcon getting a little bit too much in this trade-offs, and now with the minions coming in as well, Amalance still gonna be looking for survive. They get Ken, but there's gonna be mortality coming up, popped up, but the crystal is gonna be focused down, and Falcon Esports says no game 2 for you, Orange Esports, no comeback whatsoever, as we will take the second game to tie the series against Orange Esports. So, well, what a turn of events. Not exactly sure who has the